Hey, what's going on? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Maglite XL200. Now this is the newest model in Maglite's XL line of flashlights, and it comes with 5 modes: a high, a low, a strobe, SOS, and also a signaling mode. Now let me first say up front, if you want to just check out the beam shots, both indoor and outdoor, I'll post that time right here, and that is going to make up the bulk of this review. I will go over the operation and some of my first glance kind of notices about this light, but it's mostly going to be the beam shots. Now, in getting this light, it is a 3 AAA battery flashlight. You'll go ahead and unscrew the tail cap, and you got this battery container here. It holds 3 AAAs. Now you can see I have some lithium batteries in there, which I will talk about in a second. But this flashlight has a smooth reflector, very deep smooth reflector. And one of the things I really like about this light is that when you unscrew the head of the flashlight, it does not take the whole LED assembly out. As with all Maglites, it just pops out the actual reflector. What's cool about that is if you're someone that likes to maybe modify these lights and later on down the road you might want to put a different reflector on there, possibly an orange peel reflector, that would give you the option of doing that without too much trouble, too much of a hassle. But it also gives you the opportunity when you turn on the light of just using it with no reflector at all. So it gives you a nice, huge, just floody beam, which is really useful for so many different things. The light does tail stand. Go ahead and turn it off and show you. But as you can see right there, it tail stands, so you could use this as a night light. You can use this in an emergency and just have it inside of your house sitting like that, and it will light up an entire room pretty much. So I think that's a great design feature for this light, and pretty much something that I really like about the light. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the weight of this light, just so you can get a weight reference here. Now I do have lithium batteries in here, 3 lithium AAAs, so you're looking at about 3.6 ounces. Without those lithium batteries, I would imagine it'll probably be about 3.2 to 3.3 ounces. I'll weigh one lithium battery just to give you an idea. See, one lithium battery is 0.3 ounces, so you're looking at about 3.5 ounces for just the light and no batteries. But I think Maglite did a good job on this one. One of the things that I like about this Maglite XL series is that it actually uses more of a standard operation. Now it kind of shows you the modes on the back, but the way that you would turn it on is you just tap the tail cap like that. You get your high mode. The beam profile on this one, it is a pretty cool white beam. It does have good spill and good throw, so it's a nice balance between the two. It's a big improvement from your standard Maglite or even the Maglite LEDs like the 2AA, the 2AA and 3AA battery models, but it is an improvement as far as what the beam looks like. It looks really clean, looks really nice to me. But as far as the features, to go into your standard high mode, you just click it once. Click it on, click it off. Does not have momentary on because when you let it go, it stays on. Now, for your second mode, you're going to go ahead and double click it. And on that mode, you're going to go into your strobe. So you click it twice, and it pops into your strobe. Turn the light off, and then back on again, and it will not memorize the mode. Now, if you click it 3 times, you get your lower mode. So it starts off in high, and then it kind of dims down to the low. But the other modes that you have, if you click it 4 times, you're going to go into signaling mode. And then if you click it 5, you'll have your SOS. So again, 1 click is to turn it on. 2 clicks, you get your strobe. 3, you get your night light mode. You got to get it right though. See there. And then if you do 4 clicks, you get your signaling mode, and 5 for SOS. Now it's pretty basic operation, pretty standard. Anyone can pretty much do it. The downside to this kind of operation is that you kind of there's a learning curve, and you have to memorize how to click it, like how fast you have to click it. You know, you'd have to memorize, if I want to go into strobe, I got to click it twice. If I want to go into the low mode, I got to click it 3 times real quick. So it can be a little bit confusing. I can see how if you only use this light every once in a while and you use other lights in conjunction with it, and the operation is different, that might get to be a little bit irritating. So as far as that goes, you want to keep that in mind. But if you just want to pop it on high mode, you just click it on, click it off, just like a regular flashlight. But they do kind of tell you how to get into the modes on the back of the light. Now overall, I do think that this is a good light. It's a good value for what it is, and it's a big step from Maglite to step into the flashlight game and start putting out some quality stuff as far as that goes. Into the LED flashlight game is what I mean. But my main gripe about these lights is, and I want to talk to Maglite a little bit here just for a second. If they ever watch this review, I don't know if they will. But please make a AA version of this light. Stop using the AAA batteries. It's just hokey. Why use a AAA battery when 3 of these AAA batteries have the similar capacity as one AA? And you got to use this wide little weird looking battery compartment holder. It's just it's not practical to me. When you can use a AA battery or 2 AA batteries and get more output, more runtime, it just doesn't make any sense to me why they're using AAAs. I can see maybe a headlamp using AAAs so that it's possibly a little more compact and lightweight, but for a light like this, I mean, you could easily throw 2 AAs, make it a little longer, much thinner, and smaller in diameter. You're going to get more runtime, brighter light because it has a higher capacity. Like as I said, 1 AA battery has almost the same capacity as 3 AAA batteries. So that's my main gripe, is the battery system. But however, AAAs are easy to find and they're common to buy at a grocery store, and they're cheap. They're not expensive. You will see decent runtime with this, but I didn't do any runtime tests, so that's something to keep in mind. But overall, I think it's a good light. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some beam shots, both indoor and outdoor. So stay tuned. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at some indoor beam shots of the XL200 from Maglite. Now this is the high mode. We're looking at about 20 foot of a hallway right here. So it's a short distance, but I really wanted to show the beam profile because this is an excellent beam. It does have some decent spill, but not fantastic, not amazing. It does have a really defined spill line over here. If you can even see, can't see my hand, but I'm off to the right here. And then you can see it has a really bright and well-defined hot spot. Now just for comparison, let's take a look at the Fenix LD20. This is the Q5 version. Let me put that on high. Okay, so you got the LD20, actually let's put the LD20 on the bottom, and you got the XL200 on the top, Maglite. So you can see the center hotspot on the Maglite is larger, and they're pretty comparable in brightness. You got the LD20 on the right, Maglite XL200 on the left, but they're similar in brightness. I'd say that the Maglite, which I'm showing, and that's the LD20 Q5 version. The LD20 has a lot more spill than the Maglite, from what I can tell. So now let's just go over the operation of the XL200. Now you just tap it once and it goes on high. If you want it to go to the low mode or the midnight mode, you tap it 3 times, and then it dims down to the midnight mode, which you can barely see on the wall there. But one feature I didn't talk about in the other portion of the review is that if the light is kind of electronically operated. Like let's say you're just you're looking at one little area, it'll do this power saving thing where it goes down to the midnight mode. But if you move it around, I'm not tapping the button right here. I'm just moving the flashlight around, and as I move it, it goes back up to its brightness and starts to dim. So what that does is it tries to conserve power by just, once it's focused on one spot and you stop moving, it stays that brightness. But if you move around, it brightens up again. So it's kind of an interesting design. It gets a little bit annoying, I think, if let's say you're walking or something like that and you're moving the light around. Any abrupt movement is going to cause it to go back into the high mode. So that is a little bit frustrating, but it's also somewhat innovative, I guess, for them thinking of doing that. So and like I said, it comes with the other modes too, but I went over those. I won't go over those here. So let's go ahead and take a look at some outdoor beam shots now. Alright, so let's take a look at some outdoor beam shots. This is the Maglite XL200. Looking at about 50 feet right here. This is on high with fresh batteries. 50 feet. It's got really nice throw, and the spill's pretty good also. I don't know how well you can see the spill, but definitely lights up most of the backyard. I'm not going to go over the 50 feet right here because it's still kind of dawn right now. It's not completely dark, but I will shine it up here. That's that tree in the back, the very top kind of center right here. That's about 100 feet. I am shining it up there, but again, that's 50 feet. We'll do a comparison. Here's the Fenix LD20, the 180 lumen version on the left, Maglite XL200 on the right. You can tell they're pretty similar, definitely comparable. And the Fenix LD20 is a 2 AA battery flashlight as opposed to the XL200 being a 3 AAA. But they are comparable, just to kind of show you the different beams and compare the Maglite to the LD20. So now let me look at the operation of the XL200 just to show you again. We'll go into the low. You see it starts out on high and then kind of dims to what you would look like it is nothing. And after it dims, when you move the light briskly or swiftly, it goes right back up to a higher brightness and then dims back down. It's kind of a low light saver mode. I'm not pressing any buttons here. You can see I'm not moving the light that much, and it just keeps jumping back through the brightnesses. Goes back up to high when you move the light after it's gone down to low. But anyways, hope you enjoyed that review. Hope it was informative and helpful. If you want to, go ahead and check out the Maglite XL200, and I'll see you next time.